Okay, here I have 2 half chickens that I have boiled for about an hour, and you can put seasoning in it if you want, garlic, etc. But this is what I'm going to tear apart to make my pocket sandwiches. So let me tell you first, I'm going to start with, well, I am going to start with the chicken. I have to let it cool so I can pull it apart, and then we'll go from there. Okay, this is going on with the making the pocket sandwiches. This right here is the chicken. This is quite a lot of chicken that I cooked for, it's just 2 leg quarters. And of course you make it as much as people that you want to feed. You might want to do more than this. And I cubed some carrots, and I've got some broccoli steaming. I like to make it all. Okay, so there's the stuff that I made. It's the chicken, the soup, the can of soup, and remember, only add enough water in the can of soup to get the rest of the soup out, but don't fill the can because it has to be thick. See, this is thick, and this is going to be put inside my pocket sandwiches. So it's got steamed broccoli and carrots, chicken, cream of chicken soup. I put a little bit of garlic, and I put some fresh basil. I have basil in the yard. So anyway, now I'm going over here, and this is going to be the biscuit stuff. Okay, so I have 2 cups of flour. I have baking powder, sugar, salt, half a cup of butter, which is perfect. Don't use oil. This just makes the biscuit mix so tasty. 2/3 cup of milk. Now I'm going to tell you, salt, half a teaspoon. This baking powder, it calls for 4 teaspoons of baking powder, but this is double acting, and if I use 4 teaspoons of this, it makes it too salty. So I only use about 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and I use 2 tablespoons of sugar. Makes it all very tasty. So I've got all this in, all the dry ingredients go inside this bowl, and I forgot my whisk. Anyway, I like to whisk it all together so that everything gets mixed up really well. It's hard to do with my left hand. Anyway, whisk it all around. As soon as you got it whisked around, what you're going to do, get it all blended. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in your half a cup of melted or softened butter, either one. And so it's just 1 cube of butter. Put that in, and then it's going to be crumbly, like it'll be crumbly inside there. And when it looks like that, then you make a well inside. You probably know this already, but anyway, you make a well with your crumbly stuff so that you have it's like that, and you pour your milk right into the center, and then you mix slowly. I like to heat my milk first because for some reason it just seems to make the biscuits better. I don't know why, it's just something that I do. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the end result. I'm going to add my butter now. I'm going to make it crumbly, and I'm going to make a well, and I'm going to add my milk. See you in a minute. So this is after I've mixed everything up. So now I've got flour on my breadboard, and I'm mixing, kneading the dough so that it's all mixed together. And I keep a little bit of flour handy so that I can continue to add some, a little too much, as I need it. But what I do is I take a little piece off, about this big, and then I'm going to put it out here. Now, you can make these one of 2 ways. Oh, good, I have extra flour because I need it for my roller. Either you can just do it here, You just make it out as round as you can. Let me turn it over, hold on. But it doesn't have to be, you'll see why in a minute, why it doesn't have to be completely round. And you don't want it too thin. This is actually a little thin right here. But you don't want it too thin because you're going to put something in it. So, what I do then is I just take my guy like this, and I come over here to the stove. I take a spoonful of my stuff, come a little closer, and I put it in here. Now, like I said, this doesn't have to be hot. Just so happens I had it on the stove, so this is a little hot. But it doesn't have to be because it is going to go into an oven. The oven is set at 450, and these cook for about 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, just until they're brown on top. Now let me show you how I get these together. I just fold this over here like this, and then I pinch the sides. But I do have another way of making them. Now they get really puffed up. See this one? You can see it right like this is. I'm going to show you how it is when I get it out of the oven. But let me show you another way that I make them too. If I have the time and the inclination, this will be huge. It'll be enough for one meal. Because you got all you got your bread, your meat, everything's in there. Okay, so now I've got another round one, so I'm going to show you what I do sometimes if I want to serve them to guests. I'm going to make it round. I hope that doesn't fall off. Small kitchen. Anyway, I roll this out nice, not too thin. Then I have one of these guys. And you don't need one of these. Just, it's something that I use sometimes, okay? So come on over here with me. Then I put this inside here. And you could add whatever veggies you want. You could add peas, celery, bell pepper, but I've got a little young man in my house that is got very picky taste. All right, follow me back over. Now when I make these like this, then what I usually do, excuse me sir, is that I get a little bit of water and I pat it because I'm going to fold it over. I have this side more. And I want it to stick. Whoops, of all the times for it not to work right. Anyway, and I want it to stick, so I do this, take off this, and of course, a little broccoli wanted to make his escape. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here. So it comes out a little bit prettier, but this little broccoli is trying to escape. It's a little too large, so I'm going to have to cut it. So what I'm going to do then is take some of this. It's real moist because I just touched the broccoli. I'm going to patch it. It'll just... it would be prettier, but I'm just showing you what you can do if you don't want to. I'm not in this for beauty. This is just what we're going to have for dinner. So I'm going to pop this into the oven. And I'll show you what it's like when it's done, so I'll get right back to you. Okay, here's two that are waiting to go into the oven. And the one that I put in before that was just kind of ugly and I threw together, this is it. And I'll show you how big it is, okay? There's my hand. So it's a pretty large, this is the one I put in the other thing, and since I put that little thing, it looks like it's got a little star on it. But anyway, so it's kind of a starfish. And I'll show you how they are inside. Ian's going to eat this one. And these are great for kids who do not like veggies because they eat them in here and they don't seem to mind. So it's got the chicken, it's got the veggies, the biscuits. It's very tasty. Ian loves it. And that's that. Out of just doing the one batch, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're great because you can freeze them. So if you want to make a double or triple batch, all you have to do is make them, let them cool, and then freeze them. And then you have a meal. So there are Pam Fowler's pocket sandwiches. Enjoy.